Believe it or not, crickets and grasshoppers are two completely different insects, yet many people confuse them because they look surprisingly similar. Today we're going to settle that confusion once and for all. By the end of this video, you'll be able to tell the difference between a cricket and a grasshopper in just a few seconds. At first glance, crickets and grasshoppers seem almost identical. Both have 6 legs, both can jump impressive distances, and both belong to the insect order known as orthoptera. They are commonly found in gardens, fields, farms, and grassy areas all over the world. Because they share so many characteristics, it's easy to mistake one for the other. However, when you look a little closer, you'll discover several fascinating differences. The easiest way to tell them apart is by looking at their antennae. Grasshoppers have short, thick antennae that are usually much shorter than their bodies. Crickets, on the other hand, have very long, thin antennae that can sometimes be longer than their entire body. If you're trying to identify one quickly, remember this simple rule: short antennae usually mean grasshopper, while long antennae usually mean cricket. This single feature is often enough to identify them correctly. Another major difference is their daily routine. Grasshoppers are primarily active during the daytime. On a sunny afternoon, you can often spot them hopping through fields and grasslands, feeding on plants and basking in the warmth of the sun. Crickets prefer a different lifestyle. They are mostly nocturnal, meaning they become active after sunset. As darkness falls, crickets emerge from their hiding places to search for food and mates. This difference in activity patterns is one reason why people are more likely to hear crickets at night than during the day. Speaking of hearing them, one of the most famous differences between these insects is the sounds they make. Crickets are well known for their distinctive chirping. Male crickets produce this sound by rubbing their wings together, a behavior called stridulation. The chirping serves several purposes, including attracting females and communicating with other crickets. Grasshoppers can also produce sounds, but they are generally less noticeable. Many species create noises by rubbing their hind legs against their wings. While grasshoppers may occasionally make buzzing or clicking sounds, they rarely produce the constant nighttime chorus that crickets are famous for. So if you're lying in bed listening to a steady chirping sound outside your window, you're almost certainly hearing crickets. Their body shape also provides useful clues. Grasshoppers usually have longer, slimmer bodies and powerful hind legs built for extraordinary jumps. These strong legs allow them to escape predators quickly and travel considerable distances in a single leap. Crickets tend to have shorter, rounder bodies and appear somewhat stockier. Their hind legs are still powerful, but their overall shape is generally more compact. Color can also help distinguish them. Many grasshopper species are green, helping them blend into grass and vegetation, while many crickets are brown or black, allowing them to hide in soil, leaves, and other dark environments. Of course, nature doesn't always follow the rules, and there are exceptions, but these patterns are common. Habitat is another important difference. Grasshoppers prefer open spaces such as meadows, fields, grasslands, and agricultural areas. They spend much of their time feeding on grasses, leaves, and crops. In some regions, large grasshopper populations can even become agricultural pests. Crickets, however, often seek shelter in protected places. They like hiding under rocks, fallen logs, leaf litter, and cracks in the ground. Some species are comfortable living near humans and may even find their way into houses, garages, or sheds. This is why people are much more likely to encounter a cricket indoors than a grasshopper. Their diets are similar in some ways, but can also differ. Grasshoppers are mostly herbivores, feeding primarily on plants. They consume grasses, leaves, crops, and other vegetation. Crickets are more flexible eaters. While many species feed on plant material, they may also consume fungi, dead insects, and other organic matter. This varied diet helps them survive in a wider range of environments. Now let's talk about some fascinating facts. Grasshoppers are among the world's most impressive jumpers. Some species can leap more than 20 times their body length. If humans had this ability, a person could jump over a tall building in a single bound. Crickets have an equally remarkable ability. Scientists can estimate temperature using the chirping rate of certain cricket species. As the temperature rises, crickets chirp more frequently. In fact, there are mathematical formulas that use cricket chirps to approximate the surrounding temperature. Nature can be surprisingly scientific. Although they belong to the same insect order and share several characteristics, crickets and grasshoppers have evolved different lifestyles. Grasshoppers are the daytime athletes of the insect world, with short antennae, powerful jumps, and a preference for open grassy landscapes. Crickets are the nighttime musicians, recognized by their long antennae, famous chirping songs, and tendency to hide in sheltered locations. So the next time you see a jumping insect, take a closer look. Check the antennae, observe its behavior, and listen for any sounds it makes. With these simple clues, you'll be able to identify whether you're looking at a cricket or a grasshopper with confidence. What once seemed like two nearly identical insects will suddenly appear very different, and once you know the differences, you'll never confuse them again.